Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm staying calm and clear, but I just wanted to go over some roles of my agency and some other things. So the first big thing I want to talk about is my radios, okay? And then we're going to go in kind of a DCBA order, kind of backwards, not really in order, but backwards order. So first we're going to talk about my radio. So prepare for this long video, but also I want you to learn this. The mistakes that these guys made versus so you don't end up in jail. Okay. Um so first of all, I want to let people know that I am a police officer. I have been in my k456 town enforcement unit for about 8 years. Okay. That's the total amount. So because right now it's only 7, but next year it'll be 8. Okay, so that was from the time I got out of high school in 2018. When I graduated, I was at least 19 years old, and I decided to become a first responder. And I have been in it forever, and I don't plan on retiring. I mean, I told my company today I might go and do some interagency work, but as far as leaving my agency, I have no plans to do it. So, because some people do say that it's weird for me to be in my own department and you need to quit. Not doing it because that's defeating the purpose of why I became a law enforcement officer, which is kind of personal. So I'm not going to get into why I joined the police department or why I really decided to actually stay with it. So let's get into my radio part. Okay. Why do I like walkie talkies? Why do I like my blue on radio that I don't show anymore? Why do I like my on that's gray or the silver and black Midland radio? All of them use encryption. Okay. So it all started back in 2015. I was at my pop's house 2 years ago and I talked to my dispatch and they did respond and they said 10-4-10-8 when I said mark me 10-4-10-8 in the Woodland area. And they said I marked you 10-8, 10-4-10-8 in the Woodland area. Happened to be turned out it wasn't my agency, it was another agency, which I didn't know at the time. And my on radio had OTAR capabilities, which is another way of encrypting radio traffic. And my on radio detected they weren't supposed to be on my police channel, so it blocked our access. Right? You'd think that that would have been not normal, but it was normal. So when it blocked them, I thought, wow, was that my agency or is that somebody else's agency? Well, I looked it up and it was in our department that was almost similar using the same radios as me, like my black and blue on radio or my silver Midland that's over here or my black and blue on radio. So sorry, dispatch, you might have heard a little bit. That was my dispatch trying to talk to me. So back to what I was saying. So back in 2015, I had starting encrypting my radio traffic on my on radios and on my business radios. Well, it turned out one day I was not encrypting my channels on only the gray on radio and not my blue one because my blue one is a tactical on radio and it's always using encryption and the tactical water beep that I heard in a movie last night that I watched. Well, it's FBI. If you ever watch FBI on TV, you will know what I mean. So during tactical operations that I do, certain departments operations that I do in my department as being a special agent, which is what I am. I'm a special agent, but for this video, I'm not going to show my badge because I really don't want know people knowing that I'm undercover. So when I had my channel unencrypted on my gray on radio, I started picking up this Clifford Amateur Club. Okay. Do note that using a ham radio, which is the penal code 1549, it's illegal to transmit from a ham radio to a GMS radio that it's only meant for police use, because GMS kind of moved from, and I don't remember really what GMS was before it was another thing. I think GMS was a CB type of thing for civilian use, but then it turned into GMS, which then included encryption if you had where you could toggle it on and off to have encryption to secure your communication and turn it off if you so desire to have other people talk on your channel and iterate and to interoperate with other people and to talk to them on the channel when you were on duty. So for me, I usually keep my channel secure, right? And so with that being said, having my channel secure all the time, I wasn't really picking up these people that were from the Cleveland Amateur Club, and therefore it was making me harder to know if somebody was on my police channel, which is channel 15, that goes to our base to repeater, but to also our portable radios from dispatch. So I decided one day I'm going to decrypt the channel 15, and I'm going to see if I hear anything. So I did. I started I decrypted the channel, and I started picking these guys up all day long, 24/7 on Saturdays and sometimes on Sunday nights, because that's when they started saying that they were doing it. So I had warned these guys probably 15, 16, 17, 18, probably into 200 times to stop using my channel. So, story short, I put the warrant out, and they are now in my agency's custody. Short being, what I want people to learn from this video is that not to mess with public safety communications. If you're not a first responder and you're using an encrypted radio and you're talking on a GMS radio that's meant for police use, you in fact are impersonating a police officer like me. And I don't appreciate people impersonating me. I do not. And especially when people leave rude comments saying, "Well, I'm the law and I'm going to do this to you and I'm going to do that." You're impersonating a police officer, and that's a big time crime, and you can go to jail for life without parole. Okay, and that isn't no joke. Okay, uh, but it came to me that I will also be telling my company that I will also be encrypting my police channels. And not only will I be doing that, but I'll also be upgrading our radio system into something that will be so much bigger and stronger with encryption capabilities that will keep completely everyone off our channels. Um, I haven't had time to talk to my company yet that you heard in the video almost, if it did pick it up, but I am going to end up trying to change my system and get a different radio system so that my agency does not have to worry about people getting on our channel. Granted that I do have an encrypted on radio that's over there, that's blue, which people have seen before, and I'm glad that people gave me a lot of views on that, but there were some people that were a little nasty about the blue on radio. But versus people that don't know that I actually use that blue on radio for all my police job activities, and it's got me through a lot of stuff. Not to mention that all the marks and screen stuff that's on it has went through a long way of surviving through a lot of drops and waterproofing and all this stuff. Now, with that being said, or I should say, with all that being said, um, I kind of want to tell this Cliff Amateur Club, if you see this video is for you. If you when you get done with my agency and you get out of the halfway house, which is for most people like me that have disabilities, but people that don't listen to the law, right? Because there's a difference between halfway house and a jail. A jail is mostly for criminals that are doing murder laws. Okay, so they did things that are criminal crimes like killing people and stuff like that. My agency uses a halfway house jail that's mainly for people that are breaking laws through radio communications and also um, not following the speed laws and stuff like that. So we do almost similar stuff, but we're classified as FBI, pretty much. If you ever heard of that, we were considered FBI, and that's why they call me a special agent with my badge I've almost showed on my old channel. Which, if you did see it, you probably know that I'm already am a special agent. Now, with that being said, um, please, people, if you are not authorized to be on a public safety channel, do not get on it, because what you're doing is you're not only interrupting police radio traffic to the dispatch center, but you're also impersonating an officer and you're also committing a felony. So I guess I guess the thing I want people to learn from this video is don't make the same mistakes that the Clifford Amateur Club did, because that will get people put in jail. Period. Okay. And I'm also the judge for my agency, so I can sentence people to life without parole and all kinds of stuff. Period. And that is no joke either. Because if I was actually joking, you'd see my face different from this. This is my serious face. I don't make jokes. I'm dead serious. So be sure before you get on my police channel that you ask me that you're allowed to be on there. And most of the time, if I'm not using it for work, I'll say, go ahead, use the channel, talk on it, go whatever. But when I'm working, you cannot be on there. And that's it. And if anybody wants to talk to me, I will put a link in the video where you can contact me and talk to me personally. And that's for anybody, and that's even for the Cleveland Amateur Club if they have questions for me after they get out of my halfway house and answer my questions. But as far as I'm aware of, I don't want people on my channel, and that's just going to remain to be. Right now, I'm on channel 15 right now, but I'm also using a. If you can see it, I'm also using a. Let's do this. I'm using channel 9 and 15 for encryption. So, a minute. All right, guys. So that's the end of the video. If you have any questions for me, including my investigation I did and I just finished, you can ask me, and we'll go from there. Just like I said, stay off the channels. Don't get on them. It's dumb. It's stupid, and just don't do it. Just for my sake and my agency's sake. And I think it's pretty dumb to do that, including just to what are you accomplishing, people? What are you accomplishing by number one, impersonating a police officer like me, but also when you're saying stuff about my company and saying that, it's not good or it's fake or this is why people say stuff, it's just no good. That's impersonation of an officer. But also what it does is it also creates friction with my agency, because I'm gonna say fiction, but no, it's also creating friction with my agency, because what you're doing is basically every time you say something bad or you're talking on my channel, you are ruining my agency. So that being said, if you have any questions, let me know. I will put in the chat box my email that you could contact me, and so desired, contact me and ask me any questions about my investigations. Other than that, everyone have a God bless day, and I'll see you on the next one. And now I wanted to tell you, I just do that for entertainment purposes. That what I just did there, but that does not have to do anything with my agency. That it's just entertainment purposes to show you that I'm doing a similar job of somebody else's police work, but which is also real, like Patty Mayo, but I'm not even close to Patty Mayo, so that's different. Okay, stay on the next one.